we are exploring the rich spectrum of beliefs that shape our cultural landscape.
From ancient practices to contemporary expressions of faith, delve into the vibrant tapestry of rituals, customs, and spiritual narratives flourishing in Singapore. With just over 2,000 believers, the Bahá'í faith is one of the smallest recognized religions in Singapore. I've received an invite to observe a very special day in the Bahá'í calendar.
Oh, it looks like there are a lot of people here. I think people are starting to stream in and they're starting to take their attendance and they're mingling as well. So it looks like I better go find myself a seat in the auditorium.
Today marks the start of their most important festival, Ridván, also known as the King of Festivals.
I am not familiar with this faith, but something I am very curious about is their scripture, where they derive their teachings from. So that's something I'm really looking forward to finding out more about today.
Thank you for joining us for this joyous Ridván celebration. We will now begin this afternoon celebrations with devotionals.
Today's celebration includes skits, singing, and readings, and they're helping me understand what Ridván is about. Ridván, or Paradise, was a garden in which the faith's founder, Baha'u'llah, first declared himself as the promised manifestation of God.
Now they have started singing the song in Mandarin, so I believe they actually pray in all four official languages in Singapore. It's very, very interesting and very inclusive as well. And they always include an English translation as well on the screen, so you can follow even if you don't speak the language that they are
还有人信得主啊！
It is great to see everyone here. It is a great opportunity for us to visit the home in this neighborhood and celebrate together the festival of Ridván.
We are at the end of the performances and the presentations, but right now everybody is gathering to take a big group photo. I have been asked to join the photo, so I'm going to find a spot in the center and put on a big smile. Okay, so we've reached the end of the celebration for today. Everybody is now heading out to have some high tea and to mingle with one another. I kind of have an idea about what this one is about, but let's go find some people outside and find out more. Alright, so we have here with us Luca, Ariana and Pauline, and they're going to be telling us a little bit more about the Ridván festival. So Pauline, could you give us a little bit of a backstory into the festival?
Yeah, so basically Ridván means paradise. The Ridván festival is considered the king of festivals in the Bahá'í faith. Yeah, so it spans across 12 days. And on the first day, it involves Baha'u'llah reaching the garden of Ridván. And then on the 9th day is when the rest of the family joins him. And on the 12th day is when he leaves the garden. But throughout these 12 days, it's a time of spiritual rejuvenation. And it was really just a time of togetherness and love and unity.
And so we just experienced the first day of Ridván Festival. Can you tell us more about how it's celebrated on the other 11 days of the festival?
Well, something important that happens on the first day is Baha'is hold elections for their local spiritual assembly. And for me, this was actually my first time being able to vote since I'm 18 now. And that is a very important spiritual process for us, because for us, elections aren't, oh, I'm the best. There's not really any campaigning or nominations. You choose the 9 people who you think will be most capable and will be willing to do the most service for the community around me.
Okay, well, thank you very much for sharing everything with us.
So far, Ridván has been very different from what I was expecting. While today has been informative, I'm looking forward to tomorrow as I'm going to observe a very sacred process in the Bahá'í faith. Bahá'ís 18 and older are eligible to vote for their local spiritual assemblies and also for the delegates who will represent them here.
So the elections are usually a closed-door event, but you've been given permission to observe the proceedings today.
Delegates, before we begin the election process, we would like the readers for the quotation from the Guardians with regards to the Bahá'í election. So,
O Lord, render victorious thy forbearing servants.
Every year, delegates cast their votes for who they think are best suited to serve in the National Spiritual Assembly, a 9-member council tasked with overseeing the affairs of the Bahá'í community in each country.
The elections are about to begin, and they'll be calling out the individual names, and then they'll be casting their ballots.
Voting is a sacred act in the Bahá'í faith. The 19 delegates present have earlier submitted their votes, but before the actual voting happens, they are given 5 minutes to make changes.
paper is sealed inside this envelope as labeled as ballot. Mr. Kasale Ambo Kudrat, Miss Michelle Quay, Miss Kodrat Mohajir, Miss Susie Wong, Miss Leona K. Jennings, Mr. Tan Yun Chen. Last but not least, Mr. Kim Wu.
Just like that, the last vote is cast.
Here's east, and then here's central, thereabouts, and then here's west. Yeah, so each locality has a local spiritual assembly. So of course, everybody, all the Bahá'ís who live within that locality will then be the ones who will elect the members of the local spiritual assembly. We can only elect people who are living within Singapore. So they might be visitors who are coming from another country, but if they are not part of the Singapore community, then they cannot be elected on the National Spiritual Assembly.
Can you tell us more about the National Convention?
So the National Convention is a process where community members, we are called like delegates, we attend the convention and then we are electing the National Spiritual Assembly. One of the main principles of the faith is about unity. So we want to maintain unity. You realize that there's no like parties, like a political party of sorts, And so we have witnessed in many different places when there's some allegiance to certain kinds of parties, right? Then that brings up division, which is not what we believe in. It doesn't fit with the principles of the faith. And then the tendency, of course, putting down other people, which is also doesn't promote unity as well. So that's why there's no campaigning of sorts. So in order to get to know them, of course, it's not by going around saying, oh, what kind of person you are, what do you do and stuff like that. But it's more about serving together. So when we serve together, either through some of the activities, it could be prayer meetings together or the conversations that we have as a community. That's how we get to know one another. And then from that process, we will then decide, who are the people that we would like to elect on this 9-member institution. And whether they have the qualities that we would regard as suitable for the National Spiritual Assembly.
Well, thank you so much, Michelle, for your time and for giving us so much more information about the Bahá'ís and the community here.
Thank you.
So they've just finished counting the votes for the election and we're about to hear the results now.
I will now announce the new members for the National Spiritual Assembly for BE 181. Number 1, Lani Chu. Number 2, Kodak Muhajir. Number 3, K. Ilengo. 4th member, Kashi Shah. 5th member.
So over the past 2 days, I've had the privilege of learning more about the Baha'i faith, as well as interacting with some members of their community. I hope you've had the chance to learn a thing or two about them as well.